Squad 17 is officially taking shape. Miami football's early enrollees are on campus taking their first steps as Hurricanes. Who better to talk about the newest Canes than some of the most decorated Canes in program history? Throughout the week, we'll have some of the best players to don the orange and green coming through the studio to give their thoughts on the newest Canes, as well as share their thoughts and experiences from when they first started out at the U. Here we've got John Beason, 3-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro, and a first-round NFL draft pick. John, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Well, first let's talk about your experiences a little bit. When you look back on the recruiting process as a whole, what do you remember?
You know, for me, it was difficult. I think, you know, all the schools are great. They recruit you. You take your official visits and you make a decision. But for me, I had this gut feeling, this instinct that I needed to be here, be a Hurricane. It was a tight-knit group, private school, which I was familiar with coming out of high school. And the guys were just a true family. And that's why I wanted to be a Hurricane, because I wanted to be a part of something special.
How much of it also might it have been that South Florida feel and being home and being part of your community?
Yeah, you know, honestly, you know, you can look at the numbers at the pro level, collegiate level. You know, all the studs come from South Florida. You know, we just got to do our job in keeping guys here, because the talent's here. So, you know, for guys to come here and stay and be a Hurricane, I think it's a special thing.
Now, I know what it was like the first time I put on my JV basketball jersey for the
Okay.
first time. I would imagine it's a little different when you put on your Miami Hurricanes
Or
football jersey.
your center or point guard?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
A little undersized. But
No, you seem kind of tall.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Now, the first time you put on your Hurricanes football jersey, you put that over your pads and you had out to practice for the first time. Tell us about that. What's that like? That's not something many people can relate to.
Yeah, it's tough because it's intimidating. But I think you know, as a freshman, first thing you want to come out, you want to establish yourself as the type of player you are. How do you practice? You know, are you moving with a purpose? Are you just going through the motion? Are you a loafer? Do you give great effort? So I just want to come out and earn the respect of some of the older guys and the coaches.
Let's get to the film now. We're talking about South Floridian staying home. Got one right here. Waynmon Steed, linebacker from right here in the Magic City. He's a Miami native out of Miami Central.
Yes.
6 foot, 221-pound linebacker. John, take it away.
You know, when I look at Waynmon, for me, first off, listen, my parents both went to Central. I was supposed to go to Central. And the fact that he's a Mike linebacker through and through, you know, it excites me. That's a position that I played. And look, at Mike, you have the ability to affect the game in both the run and the pass, also sideline to sideline. You're in the middle of the field. And when I assess Waynmon, it's really about his ability to be a 3-down linebacker, meaning make every play sideline to sideline and be active, to be ball hungry. He chases the ball the way you're supposed to, and I think he has great balance here. You see him read, react, and once he makes a decision, he goes. So not taking false steps, but knowing where he's going. It seems like he's been coached up well. He has great football instincts and IQ. It's what you want in any football player, but especially as a Mike linebacker, because you have to be a smart player, but also instinctive.
Now, how much does it help him? You talked about all the talent in South Florida. I mean, he plays against some of the best high school competition in the country. What does that do for a guy like him coming in to be able to adjust to the college level?
Well, I think first off, when you're playing at a high level, you're playing, what is it, 8A now? It was 6A when I was in school. You're playing 8A football against, you know, arguably some of the best talent in the country collectively. It just means that when you assess this kid, it's on a level that you say, man, this kid can probably come in and play right away. We have some studs here, but that's how it's supposed to be. You want to come in and be behind great players. You know, I was behind Sean Taylor, Jonathan Vilma, DJ Williams. All these guys were on the defense, and you know, they're starters. And it wasn't like I was trying to come in and take their job. For me, that was the goal. But if it didn't happen, I realized that, hey, all these guys are going to be first rounders and Hall of Famers. But once you get in, you know, that's all that you have to do. Get here and then come in and work. Put your head down and work. And, you know, you make a play like this is a game-changing play. These are the type of guys that we want on the field for us. In the moment, what are you going to do? Your team needs you, and you step in, and this is based on film. He knew the play, shows his athletic ability, that he's not just a linebacker. He's an athlete playing a position. Game-changing play right there. That's huge. I mean, you want to see that out of a young Mike linebacker.
And the last thing, not necessarily on Waynmon, but in general, what advice do you have to a guy on maybe adjusting to college? You know, there's the football part of it; they're all going to go through together, but getting used to being a collegian in general as a whole.
Well, I'd say just take leadership and take ownership of what you're supposed to do. You know, coach tells you to be somewhere, be on time. You know, go to class. I mean, it's just that simple. You're 18, you don't know what to expect. It's the first time you're actually an adult on all levels, and it's up to you to make the right decision. The right decision is to do as you're told and listen to your superiors.
There you have it from John Beason on Waynmon Steed. John, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yep.